What is up, everybody? Dak here, and today I'm going to be doing a range test on the horn. I've made up this short audio track to test it. Well, obviously you can't hear it because it's playing through my headphones. But I'll show you it's 38.89 Hertz, which is D sharp, I think. Then it's 41.2, E1, 51.91, essentially 52, which is G sharp 1, and then it's D sharp 2 at 77.78, and then it goes back to 38.89. So the reason why I've done this setup, and sorry if it sounds like I'm talking into your ear right now, but the reason why I've done this setup is so I can hear. I've aimed the bottom of the horn to be around 40 Hertz, so I want to hear if there's a difference between 38.89, which is, I suppose, the lowest note it's designed for around, and 41.2, just to see if one's particularly louder than the other. And then I've chucked in 51.91, which is sort of a more common frequency. Maybe it's around the peak of a lot of drums and things like that. And then I've done 77.78 as it's closer to the middle of the response of the horn, so I can see how it sounds in the middle as compared to the bottom. And then it goes back to 38.89 to make it easier to contrast the top and the bottom. So that's generally it. 5 notes, each note lasts for 2 seconds, and then there's a minute of silence so I can move into a new position. So yeah, here's the horn in all its glory. Still got its reasonably scratched up front, and I've got to fix that. As you can probably hear by the traffic, I'm going to be riding my bike up the road for this test. And one of the reasons I wanted to do it now was just so the noise of repeating tones for half an hour annoys the neighbour. They've got the sound of traffic to offset it or something. That's the annoying thing about testing. Like, testing low frequencies is perfectly fine. Like, even though it does technically travel, it's because it's low energy phonons, it's kind of hard for the ear to detect. So even though it does travel a good distance, it's kind of like it's a bit ethereal. You can't really tell if it's there or not. It's kind of like how animals seem to detect an earthquake, maybe. I don't know, maybe along those lines. But yeah, here it is. Let's see, I haven't mentioned this yet. This is the new amp. I was going to make a standalone video on it. I might still put out a standalone video on it at some point. But this is the Crown XLS 2002, which is in the Drivecore series. The Drivecore series are like kind of... They've got, I think, 2 series of amps below this that aren't Drivecore, and then this one and up are Drivecore. This is the cheapest Drivecore. And basically what the Drivecore means is it's a servo amplifier, so in order to be efficient, and I know I sound like I'm repeating marketing wanketeering, but it's essentially a servo amp, which is quite interesting. I believe it's what gives it its efficiency. One of the things I really hated about the black amp was just how heavy and loud it was, and it did still get hot even though it was so loud with a high RPM fan. This one's fan doesn't turn on half the time, so it's really useful. I really like it. It's virtually a passively cooled amp in its entirety. But yeah, 2002, it claims a 2100 watt amplifier. Going off rail voltage is about 1800 watts. But of course, the sine wave kind of boosts the voltage. Weird stuff. But anyway, yep, 2000 watt amp, and it's pretty damn close to 2000 watts too in my testing. So this is good. This output's bridged, 2100 watts into 4 ohms claimed. This is a 4 ohm sub when the when the dual 2 ohm voice calls are seriesed. So it can actually run the horn, which has got a 2000 watt sub in it, at full RMS power. And that's, one of the reasons I got it, because the old amp could only run the horn at 600 watts. This one should be able to do it at least 3 times that amount of power. So I can actually finally really ramp it up. I have already ramped it up. It's not like this is the first time, but this is the first time I'm going to have it loud, and I'm going to Just going to ride my bike down the road. I'm not going to hop in the car or anything because I want to be able to hear it as it runs to see if it can overcome wind noise with my helmet on. But yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. First test I'm going to do is from here to the house, 30 meters, then here to the bottom of the driveway, which is about 90 meters. Then there's another one at 200 meters, which I might stop and have a listen. And then at 600 meters, which is at the kind of the top of the hill on this stretch of road. So, it's going to be interesting to see. I know I'll be able to hear it up at the house. I should probably, and that's the weird thing, you always hear kind of subs in cars going doof, 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 and for some reason you can hear them like half a kilometre away, even though it's not a particularly high-powered sub, or at least I'm guessing most of them are high-powered because they're not particularly common. But it's going to be really interesting to compare how loud this is up the road with, say, a car. Yeah, I don't know why cars are so. Maybe it's because the doof 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 that they play is very easy for the brain to pick up the beat, sort of thing. Anyway, we're about to find out. I think too now I'll put on the track and just I'll have it quiet. Also, yeah, this amp's really cool. It's got inbuilt crossover, high pass, low pass, band pass. It's really neat. So it's got a lot of cool features. 39, 41, 52, 78, 38. Oh, 38.89. Should say 39. Made an error. Same frequency. And yeah, it takes a minute to loop. So say I was going from one spot to another on my bike. Probably to get from 100 to 200 will take less than a minute, but to get from the 200 to the 600, it's all uphill, so I might not make it for that one. Also, something else cool about this, and it's got the clip LED, but it's also got signal minus 20, minus 10 dB. So you can see if I bring it back to the beginning, and say I'm probably only running about 2 watts in it. See that the signal LED is barely triggering. Also, yeah, too, for pro installs, you can take the knob off so nobody can easily fiddle with the level. I like that feature. I know most potentiometers you can take the knobs off, but just being able to easily pop them off so some overzealous DJ doesn't come in and go, more bass. This is plenty of bass. Bugger off. Christ, more bass in this in a club and you'd start to have to call the ambulance. Christ. Next time it loops, I'll turn it up until it starts to clip, and then I'll turn down that knob while I'm here so I can just turn it all the way back up. God, it's actually kind of stressful. I've never started it running and just gone far away. I don't know if things are going to fall down in here or kind of scary. I don't like it. I don't trust it yet. Still, I don't trust it. It's so much acoustic power, like 200 acoustic watts or more. It's ludicrous. Yes, see what I mean? You could see at the end there, the amp just went for a walk. God damn it, this thing's loud. I'll turn it up a bit on that knob. These aren't volume knobs. Yeah, they're potential. Just get over yourself. Alright, well, I just broke the valve off the inner tube of my bike tire. So I'm going to have to walk. Damn it. Alright, sounds like it's probably going to be at least a 10-minute walk, so 10 cycles. Well, we'll see how annoyed that. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care about that. This is for science. Alright. Okay, I'll crank it now. Now, once again, it is purely subjective, which means it's more or less how loud I consider it. And I've just kind of, I really hope it doesn't clip, or at least clip too badly. You can see I've got about 40 seconds. I'm only walking 20 meters, but I want to get there and be prepared. So after this, then I'm walking down the driveway, then I'll wait and have a listen to it there. And yeah, I'm just going to more or less report back on how loud it is. I don't have any mid-range to match it, so I can't say how loud the whole thing is, but yeah. And yeah, you can see I'm in this kind of corner here. This is where it accumulates a lot. Alright. Oh. The hell? Oh, whoops. Wrong test. Christ, I can hear the cows mowing now. Oh, God. This is a problem with efficient audio. Yeah, alright, I'm now up the hill. Probably sounds like I'm panting a bit. And also it looks dark because it's now probably 6:15 and the sun sets at about 5. Just jogged up a hill about 600 metres away from the sub. Probably won't be able to hear it, but sit down and wait. Just in case. There is a car coming, so they might block the sound a bit. I can definitely hear it from here though, 600 metres away. Oh, there it goes. Even the car coming, I can hear it. I think one might have been going while that... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's... Quite. Mate, it's annoying, it is reasonably quiet. Phone's finding it a bit hard. It goes again. Yeah, no, I'd say it feels the whole valley. It's about a kilometre across. It's pretty good. Build the second horn. So yeah, it is about 2,000 watts. I reckon at this point, things only dropped 6 dB, another 600 metres, so 1.2 k's away. I reckon it'll still be audible. But I'm very excited to see if I can also increase it by 6 dB by adding a second horn. That'd be very interesting. Alright, back to jogging.